Hi everyone, you're watching FX, and in this video I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. And the sponsor of this video is simplefx.com. Offers Forex and cryptocurrency CFDs trading. And now you can deposit with Bitcoin. Please check description for the link to SimpleFX. Okay guys, so we're starting with Euro-Dollar as usual. Sorry, last week I couldn't make a video because, when I'm traveling, I actually warned you that it could be possible some missing videos, and I missed also some trades. And but we will be looking at the previous week, this week what happened, and of course this coming week what I will be looking for, the main levels. And usually, I do this detailed videos, so it's not just simple technical analysis or forecast. So this is a more detailed the view of the market, what I look for, and where and how I place the pending orders. So why I place, why I pick some areas, why I try to avoid some other trades. So okay, so let's just start with Euro-Dollar. So I left you last week. Okay, this is 2 weeks. This was this week, that's the previous week, and my video was I left you around this area. Okay, so this is where we were. So for Euro-Dollar, for example, looking at the previous week, that one, if you remember, we had a pattern, head and shoulders, okay, on a bigger chart. So that's what I'm saying. We always look at the bigger charts just to know what is happening in total, and then going into the smaller charts, it just gives us better opportunity to see where the market could move, where it's better to go for trade, where it's better to maybe come out from the trade. And so okay, we had the pattern, and going back to the smaller charts, for example, that the week, not this week, the previous week, you see, that's what I was saying to you. We would be waiting. I would be waiting for the market either consolidate around the top level of the shoulder area, or go down to the bottom neck area. So the market did move, but it didn't give me anything around here. You see, so for this week I was out of the Euro-Dollar trades. I didn't trade at all because it was nothing. It was giving me no opportunities to go for it. So looking at this week, what happened? You can see we had a really nice channel around here. It's a 1 hour chart, but if you go on a 15-minute chart, you would see much better channel. That's what I'm always telling you. This is what I'm looking for, right? For the good straight, quite narrow channels. We did have a little bit of jumps here, but after all, it was a really nice one. So that was possible to go for trade. I didn't go because, as I'm saying, as I'm traveling, I don't get all the trades. I did have some trades, so I did sell Euro-Dollar, but I didn't go for a buy because I wasn't around to go for it. But if I would be looking for a trade, this would have been the area, because it's very close to the bottom level, because we know we have a little bit higher, could it be a little bit lower, but it did create a really nice little channel. So you can see it's moved not much, about 60 pips, but still was it's a good for making a profit. So not any jumps up or down, not hard, so that would have been good. And another trade is the perfect would be, remember I was telling you about the news, always look for the news, and actually this week, that's what I said, unfortunately I couldn't make a video and warn you about all news, but I'm always repeating you, look for the news, what's happening. And this was the reaction of the market on the news. You see how beautifully it dropped. So I had a sell around this area, and it's actually broke finally our neck area. So what I will be looking for this coming week, again, I wouldn't be able to get all the trades because some days I will be traveling again. So if I will be able, what I will be looking for is, of course, we broke this area. Now, of course, do not forget, there will be very busy week with the news. There will be news for American dollar, there will be news for euro, there will be news for pound, for Canadian, so for all the for dollar yen, also for yen. So all the pairs pretty much I trade. There will be news for pretty much for each and every pair. So if you do trade the same pairs, do not forget to make notes and see how the market prepares before the news events happens. So so I would expect, of course, after such a big drop, a little bit of pullback, possibly back to the neck area. But before that, I would look at this area a little bit, because it does look a little bit of maybe a shoulder. Okay, could be a little bit of upside down shoulder, maybe this is a little bit head. So if I would look a little bit on a bigger charts just to see what we had before this area, we see we have a little bit of the bottom of this candle, so that's a little bit roughly where it stopped. So of course with that pattern, so if it is head and shoulders we do have now, so of course I would expect it to continue and go down to the next level. Okay, so I do have this level, so I would kind of expect it to continue this way, but as you know, we never know what can happen, right? With Forex it's never 100%. Okay, so that's why I would possibly, I might not just do it right now, but possibly I would draw a level here, make it a little bit of the neck, so a possibility of coming back to this area, maybe create a little bit of the upside down head and shoulders maybe, and as it is went down, so of course a consolidation, and I would expect it possibly continue down to this level. Okay, so looking for the sell orders. Okay, at the same time, if it could possibly be a little bit of neck, head and shoulders, so I would think, like I'm saying, it could be a pullback, a little bit of the correction, recovery a little bit to back to this level. So you see we have around 70 pips, so it could be possible a trade. Okay, so possibility to go for a smaller trade. Of course, anything can happen. I would expect it to be stopped by this level and possibly another consolidation around this area and then going down. Okay, but as I'm saying, anything can happen. There will be some news. What is going to be, nobody knows, but these are the entry points I'm looking for the next week. Okay, so the first, again, looking around this area, if it will have a bit of a consolidation, and possibly maybe like a little bit of the shoulder, maybe not, maybe it'll just create something straight and nice around here. So we'll be looking for pending orders both directions, just like I said, a little bit possibly to go back to this level, so maybe catch a little bit of the movement and possibility to go to this level. So pending orders buy and sell. Okay, so if it will be not a possibility, if it will be jump, it doesn't matter whatever happens, I will be waiting for it to go to one of those levels and do exactly the same, creating some consolidations and then placing the orders from both levels. Okay, and both buy and sell, buy and sell. Of course, if it will jump down, then the first expectation would be again for a bit of the correction, possibly going back up. Okay, so but like I'm saying, with my way of trading, I'm just looking for the main important levels, waiting for any consolidation around the levels, or creating a little bit of the patterns and placing orders both directions. So that's my view on euro dollar. That's what I'm going to do and look for the next week. So okay, next we're going to pound dollar. And pound dollar had also some sales, and let's see what we had. So we have 1 hour chart, and the previous week, the previous 2 weeks, where I left you around this area. Remember, we were here, and again back to the previous video where I told you I would be waiting for any consolidation. Okay, remember I was telling you waiting for any consolidation. This is exactly what had happened. It was a little bit wide, but what I was looking and creating, because I had a sell here that I was able to do the trade. You see, that was looking something like that. So I was thinking if it will break that level, I removed it right now. So then I would go for buy, and I was looking for that level. If it would break it, and I would go for sell. So that's exactly what happened. And usually I do place trailing stops. So I was coming out with a small profit when it started to all balancing around this area. Then I had a little sell again, and stopped out again with a small profit when on the way back. So a few small trades happened here. And looking at this week, what happened in here, you see, I had to draw those levels. You didn't see them from the previous week, so I had them from the previous video. So I got these levels from the previous week, and I had my another important 2 levels, and you can see how beautifully it's created a little channel here. So this is another buy order for going up, and there would be another sell order for continue going down. See, so I didn't catch that movement, unfortunately. So as I'm saying, I wasn't able to catch the all trades. But this is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. This is your buy trade, and here we have another. So this is all the news reactions. You can see how the market prepared before it, just perfectly. And again, we had this level, you see, and around this level another. Not so perfect like it was here, but still it is a little bit of consolidation before the news and around the important level. And this is would have been the buy order would have been up, pending order right, a little bit above this area, and the pending order to sell below that level, and it's exactly what happened. Went down smoothly, okay, no jumps, nothing, just smoothly went down. So if we would look what the distance here is, it's pretty good, about 90 pips, so it's pretty good trades, okay, so a profitable trades around here. So what I'll be looking for this coming week, again, remember about the news events. Okay, there are some speculations again that the Bank of England will rise the rates, and possibly the market already kind of knows about it, so it's like not going to be unexpected, so possibly it might not move the market much up, which I do expect it still could possibly move back into the area. So I have this level still, okay, but at the same time probably will be concentration again on what they're going to say, okay, what the comments will be. So the market, you see markets moves on any comments about the Brexit, about the economy, everything that's happening around England. So what I would be looking again, you see, is as it is around the level. Of course, my still point is that it should still continue the way down. I mean, okay, we do know about the rates possible changing, right? But it might jump again back into the channel. Okay, I can think it could happen something like this, but at the same time, might not be reaction. So would wait again, all the same, for right now it's at that level, so I would wait for any consolidation around here. Okay, so of course my main point would be for pound to continue the way down, okay, because there is still no agreement with Brexit, and that's very important at this moment. I mean, you see the market jumps up wherever there any good news about the economy. There was some good news about the economy, it jumped, but still went down because there is still uncertainty with Brexit. So that's why the first concern would be, of course, it's continuing way down, but because I do trade on the smaller charts, it's not weeks or monthly trades where you would follow for very long news events and think what's going to happen, like keep a trade for many months. As I go for small ones, like you see here, like 90 pips inside, so roughly about 50 pips, which is all good. So I would expect, like I'm saying, around here. So if it will create like that little channel you can see here, right, something nice around this area, then I would go for both directions again, buy. Possibly will be stopped by this channel, could be also a danger, could be stopped by this highs. You see, could be not going right up to the top of this channel again, so could be somewhere in the middle, and at the same time, of course, a sell order for continue the way down. Finally, I would think this would be a target, but I don't know if it will be this week or not, because still remember a while ago I showed you in one of the videos, we still have a little bit of this area. You see these little bottoms. So if we will, if I'll draw the level like this, you see we have a little bit that level. So I would still will bear in mind that possibly could be stopped by this level. Okay, so move down maybe and stop, not going all the way. So it could be a little bit slowed down around it, maybe pull back and then turn around. So something like this I would consider. Okay, so but just up to you how you use it, how you go for trades. You know, I always place trailing stops, or when I'm in a good trade, I'm moving the stop into a safe position. So if the market pulls back suddenly, then I will always, well, usually come out with either small profit or a break even. So to protect yourself, that's kind of, I always feel that way. So at this moment on the small, you see 1 hour chart, again, it's all looking like a little bit of shoulder, maybe a little bit head. So that's what I'm saying, it could be possibly a little bit of the shoulder, but all depends. I believe it will be waiting for the news events, okay? So just as again, any consolidation around here, if it will break, any consolidation around here, you have examples from the previous week, and that's all what I will be looking for. Okay, this was pound dollar, quite easy. So now we're going to dollar yen, and dollar yen was out of my picture because it's very messy. There were some more interesting pairs to trade, like pound. So what we, okay, where we were again, we were this in that week. I think there was 1 hour chart, it would be easier view, because that's what I was saying to you. Remember, that was the trade, right? When I was saying what I would do after that trade. Okay, we had this level, so it's broke and went down, and I was saying to you, remember about this bottom. Remember I warned you about it, that as I'm saying, is expected the market can treat any bottoms and tops, and it's exactly what it did. It went down and turned around here, see? So it used that as a support. So for me, for example, it didn't create any good, you see, no channels, just like I did here. Yeah, the good examples again. So that's why you better see, better view what I look for. A better little nice channels is narrow, is better, longer also better. So that area, it didn't create anything. That's why for me it would have been risky to go for any trades in here. Just using that level, okay, it was stopped and you think it was going up, because it's not always happens this way, and you can get in a negative trade. So nothing, that's why I wouldn't go for trade. Okay, it went up again, back, you see where it went, back into our area, previous area. Okay, so when again balanced down, it's well, okay, we're on the 4-hour chart. Let's go on the 30-minute chart and see a little bit closer. And you can see again this little channels, as I'm saying to you, like here it was a little bit level, a little bit channel, okay, but very short, okay, very small. So as I'm saying, possibly could go if like would want to risk it, but I wouldn't. This wasn't really for me. And it's created a little bit of the channel, but there's so many levels and not very big distances between them. I mean, there's still quite a lot, but the way they're staying, the way they're slowing down. So that's why I'm saying it could have been possible just to use those channels and go for these trades to a little bit more risk. Well, would have been a little bit more reward, but not for me. I needed a bit more confirmations as for me. So you can see it moves slowly, and what it gives me, you see the point is that it's not, dollar yen just makes very slow steps, so they're not sure on the market what actually to do. Is it really going up? It does going up, but very slow. But at the same time, it's trying to be quite well, trying to be a bit more safe. You see, it went up and went down, slowly went up and again down. It's quite mostly moving down on the same kind of level, slightly higher than the previous lows. So it does give an idea, of course, that slowly it's moving up, okay, slowly. And of course, in the bigger chart, if you would look, it also gave a bit of an idea when I was looking at it as a flag pattern. Okay, it does look like a flag. It's not very nice because flag, you would like a little bit more action inside the channel. In here it went up a little bit, slowed down here, went down and went up again. A little bit of too much of this, you see, like too wavy, I would say. I don't really like when the market moves like this. I like it a bit more, as I said to you, a bit better, straighter candles and more touch of the levels, more touch-ups of the levels. The more candles touch the levels, the stronger it's for me. So in here it was looking like a flag. So you see, but how slow it's broke that and went up a little bit, and again sitting in here. Why? You see, we have another two tops previously, so now it's stopped again by the next tops. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty messy. It does look like it has a bit of the trend, but at the same time, on the bigger picture, if you look, it's not in a trend. It's a side movement. You see, it's like a very big channel, okay, on the bigger chart. That's why it's not making huge movements to get out from it, okay, to give any directions. Yeah, we do have a bit of the trend, but well, I would say not as strong for me, with not very strong signals, because from dollar yen I usually expect very good patterns. Usually it creates really good head and shoulders, triangles patterns. But at this time, with that movement, it's not as strong. Yes, it gave a little bit of the flag. So, of course, the first thing comes to the head is that it should continue the way up. Okay, so what is the length of this movement up is about 380 pips. So you would expect. Now it's broken here, a little bit sits, and you still expect about 300 something pips. Not always. I usually expect halfway, okay, if I would go for a pattern. So not 300, let's say. We have another two strong levels, so about 200 pips. Could possibly do something like that. But as with my trades, I'm always looking for, okay, I'm expecting this, okay, but I'm thinking which level I should choose and wait for any consolidation around which levels to see if I'll go for the trades, okay? So right now we do have this strong level. That's the next level again. So with expectation it might continue way up. We do have news also for dollar and Japan, so bear in mind that Japanese news. So then, yeah, we could expect it to go, but you see how strong also that level is with all these stops and the bigger level from the bigger charts, okay? So it's kind of does consolidation. It's very wide. For me, I wouldn't touch dollar yen for the next week. I wouldn't. Even if it's going a very good move, I'm not going to go for it because it's very wide. So for those who has big accounts, maybe trading a bit longer, they might go for it. I wouldn't, because in this situation, of course, I would wait for the market to break that level. It has a little bit of, again, you see a little bit of the channel already, and possibility it might break it, right? And go for trade. But the stop loss is going to be very wide, because I do play stop losses if I'm, well, depends if I'm watching, if I'm not, even if I'm watching it, I'm still expecting if my stop loss, for example, if I would go for trade and suddenly will turn around, and I would be looking for get out from the negative trades around this area, okay, below the channel, okay, a little bit below even the lower level of the channel. This is where I usually think this is where I would take a loss, okay. So it's very wide. It's like 90 pips around here, so it would be 90 plus now, maybe 100 pips a stop loss if it will try to break it. For thinking if that movement would be about 100 pips, so I'm not sure about it. So you see, that's its decision. But the point is to look for if it will break that level, and I would expect it to continue go to this level. Depends how strong the news will be. Who knows how the market would react, and of course looking at if possibly it is a pattern, a flag. Okay, at the same time, just like we saw in previous, we had a little bit of the head and shoulders patterns, right? They were a bit small, but they did look like. And here it's also looking as a shoulder and as a head. So you see, again, once again, uncertainty on the markets. They give these concerns, and they give these patterns on technical analysis is the two different ways of patterns at the same time. At one side, we do have look like a flag, which should continue the trend. At the same time, it could possibly, that's what I'm saying, this is weird because it looked like a shoulder, and this could possibly be a head. So if it is a head, then you would think that would break and will go down to the next, back to the neck area. Okay? So that's what I see. That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit messy, and it's very wide for me. Even on the smaller charts, it's too wide. Okay, but this is what I would expect. Breaking that level, possibly going up. Breaking that level, possibly going down, expecting a head and shoulders. So don't forget, of course, if you go, I would protect myself. If it will break that level, protect myself maybe with stops or break even around this level. If it's all good, any consolidation around here, then continue the way down to the next level. Okay, and possibly expecting it would possibly be a shoulder. So it all depends how uncertain the market will be. I guess it's going to show us in next weeks, in a couple of weeks, maybe this week and next week. So that's how I see dollar yen. So that's my my view, but I'm not going to go in for trades with dollar yen, definitely. At this moment, no, it's too wide. Okay, going to Australian dollar, that was perfect. I had a bit of sell on Australian dollar because I was watching this for a long time, and it did well, pretty much exactly as expected. So here we go. We have 1 hour chart, and where we left, I left you around here, I think. Okay, let's go on 4 hour chart, it'll be better. So we had this week, other week. So here we are. So we did have previously looking like a double top, right, on the bigger chart, but at the same time we had also looking that was a little bit tall, and I was thinking maybe it will be head and shoulders. Okay, so this is what another example when you think it could be head and shoulders, but market thinks its own way, but we don't really much care for it because we do have the levels still, and this is how I walk around this level. So now I want to show you, see. So yes, I expected possibly going to this area, but that's why I'm always saying, I'm always protecting myself with stops, okay? Moving into the safe area, and always trying to come out with at least a little profit, or at least break even, but at least no loss, because you never can 100% sure that yeah, it will go up and it will reach our target, because you see, it's not always happening the way you think it will, okay, or it looks like it will. So here we were, like 1 week, another week, okay. So this is where we were. It went up, and okay, so where I left, I think around this area, okay. This was that week, no, that was that week, okay. So in here, right, remember I was telling you, I remember now, that movement, and I told you I would be waiting in here a consolidation, okay, a consolidation. So would look like a little bit of the flag maybe, and again, it's either could continue go up and create a shoulder at the same time, what I was saying to you, it could go down because it's Forex. And for me, it didn't create anything here because look, it's from Friday, opening the market Monday, it started to move straight away down. But look where it stopped, another level again. You see, it's used the level and then it went up again. So this, I draw that level to see, because when something like this happens, you expect what's going to happen next. Is it going to be double top? Okay, so if it will go back up here, would wait for something around here, right? And breaking it, I would buy to consider go next level, okay? Or I would sell to consider go back down to this level or even further. So it didn't create again for me anything here, so I wouldn't go for the trade. But look what it did again. It went down to this kind of neck area, okay, of the double top. And well, it's kind of created a little bit of the channel, but I didn't go for it either because it's not good again for me. Just like on dollar yen, you saw it's quite a bit wide. Even though here is very narrow between the levels, but this I don't like when it creates something like this. I do like this type of the little channels. So you see, that's what I went for. Okay, this is your trade. So this is the sell. And again, going for our chart. So what we're going to see, that's what I was talking about. That's one of the important levels. You see where it went down, went up, and then it come down again. So we had one signal showing us it's double top in here. So it didn't confirm a creation of the head and shoulders because it didn't continue around here, okay? Because this is where you'd expect to go up and create a shoulder. So it didn't. So then you think, okay, if it didn't, then we're looking at it going down, okay? So even though here upside down it did look like a shoulder, head, and also shoulder, you see, but still again it didn't broke it, it didn't continue the way. So created double top. So for some who could risk, they could probably sell around here as a double top, but I'm always saying I wouldn't go for that, okay, unless it will create something nice consolidation. It did create a little bit, but I didn't like it, okay, so I waited it. It gave me a bit of the signal that it could possibly go and finally break that level, and we had some news. And that's what happened, exactly, perfect. It all gave us, it's broke, it gave us one signal, it's a double top, and it gave a little bit of the channel, went down to the next level, the more important level, created a little bit of the nice little channel just before the news event, and that's what happened, so perfect. So, and went down to the next level, just as expected. So this is how you walk around the levels. That's how I walk around the levels, and that's how they work for me. Now what I'll be looking for, so well, right now it's no trade, so this would be your trade. So it's of course is a way down, so expecting a little bit of the correction possibly, okay. And it's also looking like a little bit again. We have a little bit of the shoulder and a little bit of head. So that's what it tells, that it could be possibly correction, and maybe it will go back to the previous level again, right? Or it would be just a bit of the correction. So I would expect this next week, maybe go to a little bit. I have this little channel, level, just to see if it might go back to around here, give me some consolidation, and then I will place the orders both direction for buy, because it still could be a little bit of the profit go back to this, or sell to go back to that level. And of course, if there will be more movements, any consolidation around this level, go to the next level. So that's all. If it will not go back to here, so of course I would wait. Possibly it will create something, maybe go back down. I wouldn't wait for it to go and create anything in here because it's too close to that one, and not very well, a little bit close to this one. So I would wait for it to go down to this level and then give me something around here, and then I would think again it could possibly still go back up for a bit more correction or continue the way down. So waiting for any consolidation around this level or around this level, okay. So that's what I'm going to do for the next week. That's what I will be looking for, if it will be creating and giving me any ideas like that. So on a bigger picture, so what we can also see, you see it stopped around here. Just wanted to remind you a little bit, we had a bit of the triangle here before, remember, and if I draw this level, you can see exactly kind of that little level and this one is crossing each other around where that candle was stopped. That's what I'm saying. That's why it could possibly be a turning around a little bit from because there's quite strong two levels. Okay, so it's crossing around this area. That's why I'm saying at the same time, yes, it's looking like it's continue, and this would be now target at some point. Okay, and but at the same time, it still could be not that sharp movement. You see, it could turn around, which gives us opportunities to possibly go into trades and make some profits. So that's how I see the market. That's what I look for usually. So you can see that's how you. I think it's the best way. Well, anyway, for me. Okay, so this is Australian, and now we're going to dollar card. Dollar card also had absolutely perfect performance, let's say that way, as expected. Expected head and shoulders, expected that move go up and reach the neck area. It's actually reached the next important level. And now let's see how you could trade it. Okay, how could the trades work? Remember when I left dollar card, it's this week. Here we were around here. Remember that level I didn't draw, you didn't see it, but I was telling you about this level. When the market stopped around here, that's what I was telling you. The first thing we see is that it should be head and shoulders, upside down head and shoulders, and the next movement of the market would be to the neck area, right? But it's not always happens. So that's why I said we have this strong level, and I need a level to draw to place the orders buy. Okay, I know where to place pending orders for sell, but for pending order to buy, what did I do? I told you we had this little channel. As I'm saying, look for a nice straight horizontal channel. That's what I was looking for. But because I had a little bit of jumps in here, a little bit jumps in here, I was saying I'm not sure what to do exactly, where to place it, but I suggested I would look at previous week, right? We had previously also a little bit channel around here, okay? So there was one channel, then there was next channel, and I said I would wait, see what's gonna happen. See, on Monday it started to sit around this area, okay, around this. It's broke it and went up. So I personally wouldn't go for this trade because it was Monday and nothing was kind of much happening, and it was very short. See, that's why I wouldn't go for this trade. So, and well, it went up a little bit, well, kind of a little bit, get to a higher point to the previous top, went down again, where? Exactly to the same area. So that gave me, it's like 3 times it's been in this area, so that gave me the point is that, well, here's the time, that's the level, okay, not higher, not low, you can't go low, this is the lowest of lowest, and we had some news events coming, and this was the profit. So here's your trade. You see, that's pretty easy. That's the trade. This is where they place the pending order. So yeah, pending orders to buy. Here, this is the news, of course, not like at night or something before the news event. We knew the news events would happen. So pending order to sell, pending order to buy, and the market moved up just as expected. So pretty much, okay, so in this situation, so we had clear head and shoulders. So then it went up, we have, it's a little bit of the channel here, so as a top up it could be possible for the next trade to go up here. Then we had a little bit of the channel around here, if you go on the smaller charts again, so this would have been possibly a next trade, okay, not very big ones, but still a trade. So, well, not possibly catching all these big movements, but few, 10 pips at least you would get out of all those trades, 10 at least pips. So you see, that's how I work with the levels. So that's how they work for me. And so what we do have now, the market reached well, possibly neck area, possibly here. So of course, again, so what do we expect? A continuation, okay? Yeah, we do expect it to continue the way because it's head and shoulders. Yes, it's the one scenario. Or of course, it could possibly, so we don't know exactly what the market is considered head and shoulders. Is that the shoulder, that shoulder, that shoulder, that shoulder, or is it going to turn around and create another shoulder? Or so, or it will continue. So that's why in here you see we have the movement up, of course, waiting, expecting a bit of the correction. That's what happened. It started to have a correction, and as easy as it is, waiting for any consolidation around this area. If it will give a nice consolidation here, then it's a pending orders, buy and sell. That's all. That's how it's easy. Of course, if it will jump any directions, well, it's a very wide distances, so between the levels. So if it will jump, then just possibly would look what we had previously, where we had bottoms. We have a little bit of bottoms around here. So possibly if it will jump around here, maybe it will create consolidation a little bit high. Okay, if it will jump down, we still have a little bit of heights here, so anywhere in the middle for consolidation between the levels. So that's what I will be looking for. So if it will not give me anything around this level, then jump up, jump down, and then any consolidation between in the middle, then I would be looking for, again, buy and sell trades. So that's all, because it's very wide, and somewhere in the middle there is still enough space to go for trades. You see, it's 300 pips. So as I'm saying, if it will jump down somewhere in the middle, maybe around the same area, a little bit low, a little bit high, but somewhere in the middle will give enough space to go for both trades. Okay, both directions. And here, if it will jump up there, also around here, somewhere in the middle, the same, up and down, enough space. So that's what I'll be looking for dollar CAD. Okay, but don't forget about the news, of course. Euro pound, the same. I was out because, just like I said, it would be probably messy, because in euro and pound moving with different directions, so up, down. And here, what I was suggesting to look for, possibly if I would be looking maybe for trade, is to see what happened previously. We had previous, looking always for similarity. Okay, so it went up previously, went up the same, then I was waiting, I was saying I would look for some consolidation like this. It didn't happen, it's moved down, but stayed, it's kind of created a little bit of the channel, quite wide one again, you see, because of these movements, and with all this news for euro and pound, you see it went down, went up and down, broke this level again and going down. So for me, again, I wouldn't look for the trades for euro and pound for this coming week. But well, right now we have one top. I mean, on the bigger picture, it's still give us a double top. Okay, so kind of more looking like a double top at least. Okay, maybe it will end up as head and shoulder. At this moment, we're just looking at it as a second top. Okay, so of course, creating and continuing way down in the bigger picture. So everything is kind of gives a more of towards is going down. At the same time, it's, well, if you look at euro dollar, and if euro will continue going down, then it could be the other way around, but because the pound is also uncertain, it could go down. That's why I'm saying it could still probably sit around this area, so it could possibly be around this area. So that's why for better, I would look for better, again, well, go for the smaller trades, not sure, but would be better if it will create something. You see, these are, like, I would think more important. Let's say if it will do and break that level, then go down, I would think it would be a bit better to go for a bigger trade to looking around this area, possibly. If it will go back and break that level, then I would probably go for going for the buy, for example, and go to the next level at least around this high. Okay, inside on the smaller charts, that's I'm saying I'm not going for bigger trades, but for the smaller trades, I think it's a little bit risky. And you see, it's just, well, okay, it's a good movement, but it doesn't give pretty straight channels. I mean, it's 100 pips movement, so it's quite big movements. But for example, you can see, that's what I'm saying, the danger, like little channel in here, which is not too bad. But you see how it's moved just a little bit. As I'm saying, it's risky. You would expect it went down around here, so it should probably go back to the area. Okay, or maybe it's in a kind of downtrend. So you see, it could possibly be like this. You'd at least think it will go to that level. As I'm saying, it's a little bit messy. That's why I wouldn't touch it for now. I don't see. You see, it's what, about 27 pips. For me, it's not enough. I need at least 30 pips movements. Well, okay, if I would be watching, maybe would get it, but it's not worth it. Okay, for me, not worth it. If we do have stronger movements on pound, we have stronger movements on euro, and like Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, then why would I go for euro pound? No, just like I was telling you before, I'm going for those pairs unless I see something is possible good going to happen, and I have nothing happening with the other pairs, main pairs I like to trade. So as I'm saying, it's a little bit messy. I wouldn't go for it again for euro pound. So as I'm saying again, repeating myself, is it's in this kind of around these little levels. Then for me, the most important levels would be that one. So if we would be really good consolidation around this level, or something really good around here, like it was pretty much here, I was thinking if it will break it, then possibly I might go for sell order. Okay, but for the buy order, like you see in here, it could have been like that small movements, like small movements here, and now it's going back down. So I'm not going to go for it. Okay, so I'm not. But at this moment, as you can see, there is no trend again. Okay, it's not in a trend. It's in the side. And some similar to what was here, but it was a bit smaller. Now it's a little bit wider. So that's what I'm saying. Expecting maybe it will sit a little bit around here a little bit longer before we'll have a bit of the certainty with euro and pound. Because right now I don't see any certainty either way. Okay. So that's all my thought for euro pound. Okay, going to gold. And gold, that's what I was trying to get. I had some trades with gold, but also I had missed some trades with gold, which could have been a good trades. So we have, okay, this week, that week. Okay, so this is where we were, remember? And okay, let's go on the 4-hour chart now. Then we will see 1, 2 that week. What happened? Okay, remember when we stayed here, it's broke and stopped here. I told you that even though we do have a kind of like an uptrend, and at the same time with the all good news for dollar, I was telling you that, and looking at the previous charts, I was telling you that I would expect a pullback from here. Remember, I was saying to you I would wait for any consolidation around this area, something like that. But as the previous we saw before the consolidation had a pullbacks, and this is exactly what happened. So you see, it could have been probably a very good trade to go for sell, but it still wasn't good enough for me, so that's what I'm saying. I kind of missed the trade. Very nice, good trade, like here, but it didn't give me anything. So you see, if that little consolidation, if it would be around this level a little bit closer to that, then I would go for trade, because it was some kind of bit close to that level, a bit too far from that, maybe not too close to that. Quite strong one, so I didn't go for this. But you see, it had a pullback, just as expected. Okay, it went down, except it did went down a little bit too far. It's actually returned to the next important level again. So I had actually a little buy order here, and I'm in the trade right now with gold, and just a little bit bought. So, well, if it turns around, I will still probably come out with a little profit, unless it's going to have a big gap. So hopefully it's not. It's a bit risk I'm taking now. So what I see here, you see it had that pullback, as expected here. But I was hoping that after that pullback, it will come back to this area, and then I would be waiting for any consolidation, just like I wanted it to wait. It would have been so great if it would be any consolidation around here, like it was before. But it went down right all the way to this level. So that level is, I consider, is very, very strong. That's why when it's created that little consolidation on the small chart you just saw, it's in a little downtrend. Okay, I thought maybe it could possibly be a good turning around point. Okay, so that's why I went into that trade. Okay, so what do we expect? Of course, there will be some news, and again, but they're expecting the interest rate rise in December, but it's talking so much about this right now, so I would think maybe wherever the traders would already have bear in mind, okay, we know about it, okay, it was going down for a long time, so maybe it's time to turn around. So it could possibly. Okay, so what I do look, why I went into this trade. So first, it's an important level, right? So I had a little bit of the downtrend levels. So it's also around a little downtrend level. At the same time, in here, if I look, it does look like a little bit of the double bottom, which is a kind of little bit of the signal of possible turning around. So hopefully, if it will turn around and continue all the way, of course, I would expect it to come back finally again to this area. Okay, and possibly, hopefully, to go back up and close the gap. It's kind of like plan. Okay, so that's what I see. If will it happen or not, I don't know, but I will try to, of course, walk around it. So right now I'm so that's what I see the first. Of course, at the same time, I can expect that maybe we'll sit around here, because you see it has a little bit of that channel, so maybe it will have a little bit of consolidation here, and again either break it or break it down, continue the way down. You see, yes, it could be possible that it will actually go down. Okay, so because it's been, you see, for how many months now, it's been going in an uptrend channel, and well, I had break once here, so it could possibly be time to break again. So it's all, I guess, depends on the news. You see, it was a little bit of not much of the kind of reaction. It's just slowly just moved down. I mean, is expected. I expected that pullback, and it's continued the way down. Okay, so that's the area. Okay, so here, of course, at that point, hopefully, if it will continue the way up, so I will try to keep the trade. Of course, I'm protecting myself. Okay, so with the stops, moving the stops in the safe position. So do expect possibly will continue way up and actually showing me this double bottom, okay? But at the same time, as I'm saying, if you turn around, I will come out from the trade possibly with a small profit and wait for possibly consolidation around this area. And of course on the smaller charts I will be looking, and again you see, it depends how nicely it will consolidate, and I will go for, because don't forget to draw a little bit that to see where it will consolidate, and then possibly that could be stopped again by this level or stopped again by this level, and well, it depends how strong the news will be, okay? So that's how I'm going to walk around it. So if it will do any consolidation, then I will go again for both directions trades. But at this point, it's been going down for quite a while, and as a give a little bit of signals of turning around, so it could possibly be a turning around point. But as I'm saying, you never know. Okay, so and looking again. So for example, if it will turn, if it will go down, so yeah, I would use this level just to see. Will it follow it? Maybe it will be, you know, like slow going inside that. Could of course possibly break it, but what I would do next, if it will go down, I have this bottom, okay? So then that would be my next level, okay? So see if it could possibly go to that level next, okay? So that's how it would work with gold. So let's see what happens. And but right now, as I'm saying, it's like that was the trade. So right now it's just a waiting time, okay? So no trades. They can't go into like that position, like anything. So that's it. Okay, going to pound yen. So where we go, I have this a new level. So we have 1 hour chart. Let's see, and let's see what the possible trades. We were in here, right? Remember in this area where I left the last video, and I told you watch out for this level. So now in our example, how badly it could be. It's created a really nice long channel. Look at that. This is just perfect. So placing the buy orders, right, and the sell orders. But you see how little it moved. It moved down and then just stopped here. Okay, so because you'd expect, okay, it should go to the next level, okay, but it didn't. It stopped around here, and it started to consolidate around here. So, for example, if I don't trade pound yen. I had a little bit of trades, but I don't really like it much. It's a bit wide the spread, and it's just not the way I do like to trade. And so, but if I would go, for example, for this, and to see when it started to slow it down like this, for me, it's kind of another signal that something is not right. Okay, so it's like doesn't want to really easily to continue the way down. Okay, so you'd think it's something is going to be okay. Again, it will move either up or will move either down. So, but if it will go on a bigger, that's what I'm saying, what you need the bigger charts for is what you would see that it did give us a little bit of the sign of the uptrend. Okay, so I didn't draw this level, but that's what you could use when it's moved but didn't reach our level with expectation, right? To actually we have, it was kind of like a big downtrend, started head and shoulders, yeah, that's why we expected it. I would have expected to continue the way down. Okay, had a bit of the correction, went down, bit corrected again, and you think it should go down, but then suddenly it's turned around. That's what I'm saying. It's not always goes all the way. It's a head and shoulders. You think it will go all the way, but it's not. And then you use the bottoms, and you just draw your next trend line. Okay, your support resistance, that's your support level. You have two bottoms, and then you see when it get right to this level, then you think, oh well, the next sign for you is maybe it's actually changing the direction. Okay, so that's why you would either come out with a small possible profit here, protect yourself, okay, with the stop wherever it's wherever you go in, and then you see it's created another little channel, and then you go again. You could go for sell, or you can go for buy again. So thinking, expecting, well, it might go back to this level, or if we do think it's actually could be a little uptrend, then you would think then, okay, the next one, you don't know exactly where it's going to be, so roughly you would use either that little top or those little tops. So you see where should it be, like, okay, next top where it could go from here. You see it went slightly there and again come back to the same, given actually a good idea that it is actually a good support level. And then went up again, a little bit broke it even, get to the next level. So you see, I'm removing this, it's a bit too much, I'm going to leave that one. Okay, so, but this is the idea, is how to get out from the bad trades. You think you got in there, or maybe it's a bad trade. If you see, if you would wait continue to go down, you will be in a loss. Okay, so again, depends, or maybe it will be floating loss. For those ones who trade longer, they don't use stop, then you see you are up, you are in a big floating loss. Of course, when you're up and went down again, you could have come out again, but you would think, oh, maybe it will continue down again. So that's why, with my way of trading, that's how I protect myself from these bad losses. Okay, so you see it went down, it started to slow down here, and you're looking at why did it stop? That's the first thing you have to think. Why did it stop here? So you're looking at the previous what happened, and then you see, okay, this could be the point. That's why it stopped. Maybe it needs more correction. Maybe it's coming back. Maybe it's turning the trend. So you come out either or protecting yourself with the stop orders. Okay, so that's how you could work out. Okay, so maybe sell here, maybe buying again, placing orders around this area, then just nothing. There would be nothing here. Also around here there was some news, possibly. And now what we're looking at, what's now? Okay, what's to do now? What is it showing us? We have one top here, and it's created another top. So of course, the first thing come in mind that it could possibly a triangle, starting to create a big triangle. Okay, why? Because you see that top, if it, for example, will go high, then you would be looking at the double top. But now it's low, so that's why it's possible a triangle. So let's say, so I was leaving those levels, for example, that I was saying, we're leaving these levels just to see, when I was telling you that movement, it could be a reverse. Okay, that's why I didn't remove those levels. I warned you about it. So see, it could possibly go back there, and that's exactly what it did. It even break and try to get back inside the same area, okay, but slightly low and then drop. So that could possibly be a triangle. So okay, what we're going to do with this level? Is it still a strong level? So you see, possibly we have a little bit of cross here, so if it might go down, reach one or another level, and then well, it depends what type of triangle we're looking at. So it could be a bottom of the triangle here, but if it's a bigger picture, then possibly it will break and go down to this level. Okay, so then we'll be looking at that as a bottom of the triangle. Okay, the bigger triangle. So that's why I possibly would use this one, because we had, you see, so many. That's what I'm saying, might ignore it, so it might get right a little bit, maybe high, just depends how it opens. So maybe a little bit high here, and then maybe it will possibly turn around to get to this top again. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that like this. So if you would use it, I would remove this, just bear in mind, just in case. Depends how far it will go. It might at one point also be useful, but right now possibly don't need it. And also inside here, as I'm looking right now, would be looking as a triangle. Then okay, so could be at the same time, we still could, you know, like break and still try to be as a double top, because it's a bigger time frame. So could be anything, right? So it could still try to jump up, but right now it's more looking like because it gave us a good drop from here. So I probably possibly would remove this for now. No, I'll probably just leave it. No, just leave it just in case, because it was a really strong level, and it had a stop here before. You see again, it was here and here. So if possibly it would probably go, and it still could possibly be stopped by that level. Is a possibility. I would leave it, but still for me it would be more looking like a triangle. And we do have news, as I said to you, for pound and for yen. So just to see how the market prepares, of course, using that level, and possibly, as I'm saying, it might go back to this level, maybe in that area between those ones. So maybe it could be useful just to you know, to use those ones for buy orders and sell orders. Depends where it go in here, or maybe it will jump between these two and start to create something around here. So any of those levels I would look and consider to see how the market prepares before the news events. Okay, so news for pound, don't forget the news for yen, that will be coming this week. Okay, so that's all my view for the trading week this coming week. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe, like it, and I see you next week. Happy trading, everyone. Bye.